This is Dax Gazaway here on Tatooine for the start of this season's Galactic Pod Racing Championship. Good to be back in Mos Espa, my hometown, by the way, and it's a beautiful day. The suns are shining and the crowd is ready for some spectacular pod racing action. It's been almost 8 years since Anakin Skywalker's incredible upset over the past champion, Sebulba. Best of luck to the racers, and our condolences to the families of the unlucky ones. Sulla's surface, a wasteland of volcanic rock and toxic gases. Nothing can live in this atmosphere. Good thing we're far below the surface, with a manufactured air supply. We're here at the main headquarters of the Sub Corporation, one of the galaxy's largest manufacturers and the sponsors of today's race. We'll track the pack through factories and then up to the planet's surface, where a network of glass tubes protects our racers from the fumes outside. And then down to the main spacecraft storage facility. This could get expensive for Sub. Those racers had better be careful. The Mon Calamari and Quarren welcome us to their ocean homeworld for today's race. It's being hosted by the gigantic floating city of Oruturugam, just off the coast of the Grand Reefs. Looks like the entire city's turned out for this one. We'll get a great tour of this beautiful metropolis today, as the course cuts across the Civic Plaza towards the Hall of Heroes. Just look at that spiraling roadway. We'll see some tight turning today, and that's a long way down. And now, back to the starting grid. Gamorre, a beautiful planet of green forests and rolling hills. It's also home to the brutal, bloodthirsty Gamorreans, who've made it virtually impossible to visit their homeworld in the past. Thanks to the Hutts, who employ the Gamorreans as guards and soldiers, Gamorre's safe for pod racing now. And we'll have a fantastic view of it here below Fortress Mountain. As the racers head out past the forest, they'll make their way up around the Tower of Eyes, and then down around this cluttered junkyard. I'm sure we'll see a lot more wreckage there today. The Twi'lek people welcome us to Ryloth, where the planet's rotation has created two vastly different regions, one of perpetual light and one of perpetual darkness. Now, judging by the blinding sun overhead, I'd have to say we're in the Bright Lands. And it's hot out here, folks. Worse than Tatooine. Luckily, we're in the coolest region of the Bright Lands, so hopefully our racers won't overheat too quickly. Strange territory, but perfect for a pod race. Be sure to watch for the Great Tusks, one of this area's most well-known features. And then it's out to the Crater Sea, where we're sure to see some great combat action. So hold on tight. Tatooine's not exactly known for having a hospitable climate, but if you still want a vacation here, you should probably stay away from the Badlands, especially today, because this race is gonna get uglier than a naked Jawa. Our first stretch will be Hutt Flats, and then into the tight canyon system beyond. Looks like the Jawas are out in full force, just waiting to salvage some scrap. There's a sandcrawler standing by. And then it's out to these mesas, and it's a long way down. Big drop-offs equal big trouble. And now, back to Mos Espa Arena. Welcome back to the city of Oruturugam on beautiful Mon Calamari. A bit of information about the city. It's kept afloat, as are all surface cities here, by a system of pressurized ballast tanks. And as you can see, we'll be getting a good look at them during today's race. The city's engineers assure us that the race won't have any effect on the city's safety, even if something should go wrong during the competition. All the same, I hope everyone here can swim. We're back at Fortress Mountain Arena for the second of Gamorre's 3 pod races. Today's destination, the ruins of Karnus Gorgul. These temples have seen a lot of violence in their day, but not a pod race. We'll be lucky if these stones are still standing tonight. Here we have a dense forest. Hey, and look at this. This freighter crashed here years ago, and then the crew met up with the Gamorrean welcome wagon. We're on the outskirts of the towering Solustan city of Serra Serrano. Just look at that structure. A dizzying metropolis overlooking the racecourse. Best box seats I've ever seen. And then it's into this system of pipes and channels. Watch for the wreckage and debris in here. This'll be tight. Yup, it'll be a hot one today, race fans. The sun is setting over the grand reefs of Mon Calamari. And let me tell you, grand does not begin to describe the scene here. It is absolutely glorious and a breathtaking setting for this evening's pod race. Racers will make their way from the mainland across this bridge and onto the reefs. The giant seagoing kilcoal worms who've eaten their way through the reefs have created an incredible natural course for our racers. With these curved walls and twisting passages, we're sure to see some fancy maneuvering tonight. And hopefully our racers will stay dry. One false move, and it's right into the sea. You can almost hear the sounds of bloody battles once fought out here on the Field of Legend. Very soon, this field will echo with the clash of combat once again. Our racers will be battling it out as they work their way up the Fortress Mountain toward the Citadel. This massive fortress, dominated by the deadly planetary defense gun, has long been the symbol of the Gamorrean strength and power. And as the pinnacle of the race, it's a fitting symbol for the force and fury of our competing pod racers. It's cold out here in the Nightlands, and out beyond the stadium lights, you can see it's just blacker than a Rancor's heart. But out there, beyond these canyon walls, it's almost another world entirely. No lighting necessary out here, as our racers will be guided by the glow of this bizarre plant life. This canyon path is just choked with natural obstacles, though. Our racers will need some quick reflexes to get through here. And then it's out to the wastelands, coming up to this system of caverns and grottos, and then down this dense slope to the finish line. It may be dark out, but this'll be one blazing race. It's Bunta Eve, and the energy is just enormous here at Mos Espa Arena for the final race of the Galactic Pod Racing Tournament. Another fierce season of pod racing all comes to one last showdown with tonight's race. Only one racer will walk away with the championship trophy. And as expected, this year's course is extremely difficult and deadly. Everything you've come to expect from Bunta Eve and more.